pretty bird. A pretty bird. Are you a pretty bird? Are you a pretty bird? Zoom tight. Pretty bird. Peaches, what are you doing down there? Peaches. You can't hear your friends, but they're going to be there. Pip, 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 pippa. Hello, Pip, Pip. Yep, the pretty bird. Pretty bird. Bob. You don't need Babaloo. Calm down, boy. Hi, Amy. Eleanor. Bob. Don't yell. It's impolite. Hello, Michelle. Do not yell at the neighbors. Right? Hello, Cheryl. Yeah, it's cool enough for us to be out here. Bob. Hi, Aaron. Hey. Hey. Calm down, Mr. Bob. No, Pip. Pip, Pip, Pip. Pip, 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 Pip. Oh, you want down? Okay, Pip. Come on. Cecil. Hi, Lisa. Cecil. Yeah, you're done beating me with a piece of wood. Hey, the piece of wood's still down there. He was whacking my head with that earlier. Weren't you? Now he's showing a little nest territoriality. Yep, we got a big crew out. I'm slowly adding to the crew here, so we still have to have two groups, but there's part of the first group that gets to stay into the second section now, so boys and girls, except for Babaloo. Stop it. Cut it out, you big monster. Hey, Z. Hey, Lisa. And what are you doing? Just what are you doing? Bob is yelling at people outside across the fence, aren't you, Bob? Mander? What are you doing up there, Mander bird? Sal? Sal? That's right. That's right. Isn't that right? Is that right? Hey, Falcon Sue. Hi, Christy. Don't have an iPad out with me today, so I only see things pop up on the screen and disappear rather quickly. So if I miss something, let me know. Bob will, on his best days, try to eat the phone, but the iPad, there's no chance it's going to make it with Bob. I'm working with him on it, but right now he just like, oh, something to eat. You having fun down there, Cecil? Cecil bird. Gonna get that nest just right, huh? A little sweeping. Now I am using a little ABA here, because if you notice, that's footstool is where I would usually put my feet up, right? Well, it's over there because he gets territorial, but he stays mostly around that, so the other birds are safe from Cecil Hyde, who runs around and chases them with whatever toy he's got in his beak. He's mostly trained to either come after me and beat me up now, or to just play in that little spot he's got there inside the footstool. Peaches, you're working that section of your wing a little bit heavy there, girl. Peaches is doing better, but you know, her droppings look better, and she's been obviously been a lot more alert and saying hello and singing. I kind of figured that out. Um, I don't have much of an opinion on heated perches. I'm nervous when there's electricity around these guys at all. So try to keep them away from things where they might get contact with electricity. But it's better to have them in a heated area. But I mean, if it's necessary, I suppose they're okay if you keep an eye on them and make sure they're not being eaten. And when you see Cecil, he could eat pretty much anything if he wants to. Cages. With Cecil, he always has to have a cage with a bead weld, and the only company I know that actually made them was California Cage, and he's in a California cage. Anything else he could bust out of. Yeah, they just use tack welds, which means they don't put any material between the two welds. They just bond the bars together. Hi, Cecil. You coming up? All right, Cecil. So they just bond the bars together, right? This is tack welded here too, but there's so many of them, and that it would be difficult for a bird to try to break that loose. But because this whole assembly has got long bars and they're attached to actually go into the metal, so it's pretty. This is well built, but for Cecil, any cage he's in, he needs a actually bead welded cage. If you do use one, I suggest putting some kind of, wherever the cord goes, putting some kind of metal jacket over it, like they use for appliances, something like that. But with the birds I have here, if I were using one, I would probably feel safe if it was for Peaches. Who else would probably be okay? Peaches, Pippa doesn't chew on things like that, and Lucy. Do I think that birds should be bred for captivity? The only time that should happen would be in zoological situations, so if you have a zoo like the San Diego Zoo that's doing it, I would say that is fine. They try to keep them in an environment where it's more natural, that kind of thing. As far as for the human trade, no. Unless you can somehow do the krill mind expansion for human beings so that they have the much greater intelligence than they have and willingness to learn, I would not at all for pets. They're not pets. They're wild animals. Aren't you? They may be tame, but they're still wild. Their natures are still wild, so. And you can see some of the wild behavior in them. I mean, if you look at like the sulfur crusteds, the greater sulfurs in Australia, and how they get into things and hang upside down and act crazy, well, these guys all do those behaviors to some extent, so. Right, Cecil? Yeah, I think in that one Parrot Confidential, which is a great nature video to actually watch, when someone asked one of the rescuers what would be the right size cage for a macaw, she said about 40 miles by 40 miles. So, and when they're raised in captivity, unlike what the breeders will tell you, they'll say, "Oh, we're preserving them for the future." Yeah, that would be like taking a human child out just after inception or conception, and putting it in an incubator and letting another species like, let's say monkeys, even though we're still apes, raise the child. Right? It will not be human by any standard, and these guys are not normal by any standard. Functionally autistic is the way they should be described. They missed so many steps in their development, they just don't even know what they are. So we do the best we can for them. That's all we can, but we do not encourage any more breeding. Yeah, Lisa. Doesn't matter how old they are, they're wild. Yeah, and it's too bad you can't reintroduce them to the wild. I understand there is some effort going on. I can't say where or who, because it's being done in a country where it's illegal by actual biologists. So they're taking birds that were raised in captivity, retraining them, and they're releasing them, and they're having some success. But I mean, we're talking biologists here. It's it's a real intense and difficult process, and they have to make it so the birds can get back too. So they are training these birds, releasing them, and the birds can come back if there's an issue. They're being released to the wild in their native habitat. And these are birds that were actually raised in captivity, the way it's normally done. So amazing that there are biologists who are trying, but I've only met a few breeders, to tell you the truth, and I wouldn't give you a nickel for them. And I've usually ended up having to argue with them, and they probably think they win the argument. But let's face it, these guys, their parents will break the eggs. They won't even try to raise an egg, so they have to take the eggs away from them. That's our local canines out there, if you hear that noise. Cecil, that's my foot. Come on, you don't need to eat my foot. Come here. Come on. Nope, not coming up. Yeah, in fact, I have talked to ones who said that Coco, who used to be with us, who died sadly. I miss that girl. She was a lot of help to me too, but she had. Oh, am I talking too much, Bob? Is that what you're telling me? Come here. No. Bob's sitting behind me. I got to watch him, because the next thing I know, yeah, Bob's going to steal the phone. But I was trying to explain to one breeder, if you're going to be raising them, which you shouldn't, but if you're going to do it, you need to use a I know, Bob, I know. You need to use a actual temperature tester, the kind you point and shoot like a gun, to know what their food is at. Because, Bob, stop. If you give them food Bob, you do. I know you're yelling at the neighbors, but you need to stop, okay? The dogs, I know. Neighbor dogs. Would you stop that, please? You're eating my foot. That's my foot. That's not your... No, that's my shoe. You can't eat it. No, you can't eat it. Bob. Interesting sounds. But so if you feed food to a bird that's too hot, you can burn their crop and permanently damage their ability to eat. Come here, step up. Come on, step up. Hi, Cecil. Hi, boy. Babaloo, that's enough. He was kept in a facility where they had dogs. So when he hears that, he gets all excited. Babaloo. No, Bob. No, Bob, stop it. Come here. Come here. That's enough. That's enough of that. Let go. Let go. Enough of the yelling. Good boy. I didn't understand why you're doing it. Yeah, I call that the elevator. But he tries to eat the elevator too sometimes. Yeah, so Coco was, come on. No, we're not eating it. Step up. Step up. No, we're not eating the shoe. Come on up. Come on up, Cecil. Come on. No. No, it's not, Bob, you're not going back to that again. No. Come on. Come on. No, we're not going up there. Bob, come on. No. Move. Come here. Babaloo. No. You're not going up there to scream. No. Come here. Come here. Excuse me while I try to get him away from his little thing to start screaming. You. Let Baba Lou. Let go. Well, no. I'm just. Oh, you're a pest. You are a big pest. Just a big pest. You're not listening to me. No, you're not. No yelling. You can climb up there if you don't yell. If you understood English, that would be great, but. What are you doing? All right. You can come up. Come on up, Cecil. Yeah, so it only takes one time. You give him food that's too hot. And this breeder was telling me, oh, I can tell with my finger. And I said, well, I can pick up that kind of a comet right out in the field with a bunch of steer. Because that's just not true. You cannot tell. You stop with my feet, you little pest. You little pest. He'll throw that if I give it to him. Nope. Okay, just prove me wrong. Piece of wood. Usually if I give him anything, he throws it away. Yep, see? He has to pick it up on his own. Come on up here. Not the shoe. We're not eating the shoe. This, he doesn't understand the words. He does understand the tone. The tone is telling him not to do something, and he's basically saying, I'm going to do it anyway. There's the tone for immediately desist. You know, when I tell him I'm not going to do it, but there is a tone that I can, and a cue word that will let him know that he has to stop immediately. And then there's the one that's basically just asking him politely to stop. Would you leave my shoe alone? Hey, 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 hey. Probably I wouldn't be able to walk if he bit one of my feet. Come here. Not that he would normally do that. I don't think he would, but it would only take once. Wouldn't it? They've had pine cones, but none with seeds. There's a place I buy like 100 pine cones at a time from, but come here. And they actually clean them and do the oven treatment there, but come here. Would you leave my shoe alone? This is not a footsie video. It is not a footsie video. Leave my foot alone. Cecil. I have to allow him to play to some degree. I'm not going to stop him from doing some of his behaviors just because I don't want him to do it. He's not hurting anything by attacking my shoes. Now, that's a tricky way of going about it. Grab a piece of wood and then try to get my shoe. Cecil? Cecil? That's my... Will you stop? Stop it. Again, I'm not actually trying to... If I wanted to stop him, I can stop him. It's not difficult to do. Come here. Come on. That's all it takes. Premium pine cones. It's either .com or .net. Premium pine cones .com or .net. I can't remember which. And Pippa's the biggest pine cone chewer. Oops, I got to order more pine cones soon too. She is running out. Time for another 100 pine cones, huh, girl? That was a little sensitive. I didn't get that close. Oh, now you're back to my feet again? No, I'll pick you up. There he goes. Oh, you know, I don't think anybody has an accurate lifespan on these guys. Dr. Jenkins says he thinks that we've estimated too high, but then again, we see some birds that live a long time. So there are, if you look on the web, you'll find estimations of lifespans for all the species, but don't know how true it is. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Would you come here? Come on up here. You're just going after my shoes constantly here. Well, hi, Jazz. Hello, Jazz. Hi, Pop. Oh, hi, Pip. There's a Jazz bird. This one sure is a sweetie. And again, we were told that, actually, they just told me, the only thing they actually told me about her, nothing other than the fact that she was, chewing into her chest, is that, oh, if she gets on your shoulders, she'll bite your ears. Well, once in a while that may happen, but I mean, it's not like she bites them hard, and she just nibbles on them a little bit. Cecil, if you don't leave my shoes alone, I'm going to have to do something to you, like tickle you. No, no. That's enough. No. Come here. No, come on up. Now he knows I mean business. Now you know I mean business, right? Oh, yeah, she was doing a lot of running around. I've got some video of her running around all over the ropes, and that one cutesy little thing I put up on TikTok where she grabbed Salamander's tail when he walked by. Just grabbed one feather. What's up, Bob? Are you still looking out? Are you still looking out there? Yeah, it's hard to say how long they live, especially after talking to Jenkins. He thinks that we don't have the date or the times right at all, but there are charts for it. I don't have it in my head now because I used to try to keep the species age ranges in there, and after talking to Jenkins, I've kind of dropped it. So, hey, those are my feet. You need to stop this. No. You're causing too much trouble. Stop it. Cecil, no. Cecil, come here. Gonna have to come up again. Are we gonna be doing this the whole time? Pick up the Cecil, put down the Cecil. Pick up the Cecil, put down the Cecil. Hi, Pippa. Yeah, that's the thing. As Eleanor says, it's hard to keep track of their ages unless you've had them since they were hatched, right? So, hi, baby. You want to come down here? That doesn't usually last very long. Who's leaving? Someone's leaving, Bob? He only says goodbye when he sees somebody leave. I don't know who left. But he saw somebody. Now Cecil's into something a little more productive. Bob? Yeah? Who are you saying goodbye to, Bob? Oh, I would love to pet your beak. I would love to pet your beak, but my hand is being occupied, both of them. Oh, sugar, I can't pet you right now. I don't have a free hand, Bob. Good boy, Cecil. Good boy. Yeah. Back off. One of the few people who showed him any attention at that animal hospital. That's why he calls her name. It's been a long time since he saw her, but he still calls her name once in a while. Becca? Where's Becca, Bob? Over there? You think Becca's over there? Do you? Hey, Doris. Peaches does climb, even with her back. She'll climb up on the... She's climbed in the aviary and got up on one of these high perches. She hasn't done it recently, though. Peach? Are you going to climb, Peaches? From that? Baba Baba Loo. She's playing now, though. What, did you move away from the toys because I said you were playing? Baba Baba Loo. Peaches. Peaches. You have a song, Peaches? Does Peaches have a song? Does Peaches have a song? Oh, Cecil, would you leave my feet alone? Come on, step up, Peach. Step up, Cecil. Come on, step up. No. Cecil, would you leave my feet alone, please? That face. That face. Peaches, do you have a song, Peaches? Peaches, do you have a song? Cecil, leave my feet alone. I'm more fun to play with, I guess, than toys. You gonna step up? Come on. Come on. Take the elevator. There you go. Peaches, got a song? Peaches. Peaches. Song? No song today. Usually I just have to say song, but her friends can get her to do it better than I can. Peaches. Oh, hold on. I can't really do it. Unless she moves. What? Oh, little preening session here. Gently, Cecil. Cecil's pretty good at the old preening thing. What? That's it? She's saying, what? That's it? Don't I get more? Peach says, Eleanor is typing, beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Bob. Are you getting into it now, Bob? You're going to do the peep, peep, peep? Hi, Bob. Cutie. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, boy. Hey! You stop that. And I kicked a ball into his into his little nest area over there. It's got him playing with the ball. He likes those things. Did he leave you? Huh? Yeah, he just about got my big toe that time. He was clamping down on my shoe. That's why you heard me get a little bit loud with him. Well, not loud compared to them. They're loud. I've actually had people say, well, how can you yell at them? It's like, I really can't, because I can't get up to 125 decibels. If I could break 150, I could probably get their attention, and, with just volume. But as it is, it's the tone of my voice that gets their attention. Hi, beautiful, jazzy Jasmine. That's a beautiful girl. She goes, yeah, I just wanted to get preened. He took off. Yeah, I know about you up there. You're not in the best spot to preen, but I think I can manage this. Where's the... Here we go. Oh, you're going to take your head away from me? I took too long? If I take too long to preen her beak, she'll turn her head away. But she's more into getting her beak petted, so... Yeah, every one of them has special behaviors that I have to do with them, so... Not the same behavior with any bird, actually. Snowball, wake up back there. Snowball's sleeping. Snowball is sleeping. Now, as far as putting my fingers in a beak and playing with a bird's tongue, you want to make sure I always wash my hands before I come out here. Your fingers are clean. With Bob, I don't actually do that. What I do is when he's down on the ground, I will put my finger out and he will clamp his beak around it gently, and then I lift him up. With Cecil, sometimes I will hold the upper portion of his beak when he's playing with a toy to mess with him. He kind of likes it, so. Other things I do with beaks around here, I have to preen. I have to trim Jasmine's beak because the upper portion gets too long. I have to trim Coz's beak on the upper and lower section. No, not the feet. Stop it. Leave my feet. Cecil, stop it. No, it's not funny, Bob. It's not funny. And you think it's funny? Okay. And then Lucy's beak, what a mess that was. The animal hospital that had her screwed her beak up so bad. About every week I have to work on hers, the lower section and the upper. Come here. Come here. Come on, step up. It's kind of hard to talk when you're attacking my feet. Yeah. Playing with my feet is what he's doing, but he's not attacking anything. But what they did is they let I don't know how they managed this, but the lower section of her beak overgrew so she couldn't close her beak at all. And then the upper section just keeps growing too long because they flattened it out. I think they were afraid that she might bite a client. And of course, the day that the VCA, this big corporation that keeps taking over these veterinary offices, took over, we've got to get all the animals out of here. We don't want any animals on the premises. It's like, if you've got a veterinary hospital and you don't want animals, why don't you put a closed sign on the door? But we're glad to have her. She's a sweet girl. I played with your tail. Hey. How did you get down on an attack? Playing with my feet. I shouldn't say attacking. Playing with my feet again. Cecil, stop it. Chicka bird, chicka bird, chicka bird. Chicka bird. What did you say, Bob? Bob? Yeah, he's chatting. He actually has been speaking quite a bit. Dan was in getting some of the birds out. He helps me bring the birds out and in, and he said, "Did I hear a bird say morning?" I said, "Yeah, that would be Bob." Oh, sorry. Who's back there? Oh, sorry. This is a tough one, trying to get Bob from the selfie side camera, because if he sees things moving on the phone, he has a tendency to try to take the phone down. Hi, Bob. Babaloo. Bob, are you a good bird? Bob? Babaloo. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good boy. Bob's a good boy. Now, when he came here, he used to say, "Bob's a good boy," in a question. right? Now he just says, Bob's a good boy. But he used to, it was a question in his voice. Bob's a good bird, Bob. Well, I'm not killing a bird. That's just Pippa. That's all right. Pippa. Hey. That's enough of that, silly. You got Bob started, too. You got Bob started. Hey, Bob, that's enough. That's enough. Bob. That's enough. Pippa. Pippa. Bob. Hey. A little false alarm by Pippa there. That's the kind of sound she... What was that all about, Lucy? What was that all about, Luce? Huh, Loose Goose? No, I had a technical difficulty here. I always try to make sure everything's flowing by doing all the net tests and everything, but once in a while, I still get a problem. Yeah, I think that was on our end here. Babaloo, what you doing? What you doing, Bob? What you doing? What you doing, Bob? Bob is a good bird. Bob is a good bird. Oh, thanks. Try. Peaches. Oh, now she's singing for Dan. Peaches? You singing? Peachy song? First song of the morning. Yeah. You have another verse, Peaches? You have another verse for that? Peaches. Cecil, do I have to get you a muzzle? Oh, now that's tricky. No, you're not going to eat my shoes. Stop it. There he goes. Peaches. Pip, 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 pip. She's thinking about it. And Bob, you still hanging? Oh, Snowball's out and about. There's a Snowball. There's a Snowball. Hi, Snowball. Hey, boy. Hello, Snowball. Look at that. Look at that Snowball. Now, this is, you'd never guess it to look at him. He's a real smuggler. If you get him by himself, he would let you snuggle him for hours. Of course, you don't want to do that with a bird. About 5 minutes would be your most, but I don't know what they would do if I was in a suit of armor. Probably tear it apart. Right? He's our Saram voyeur, though. He likes to look at Sarams. He doesn't do anything to them. Well, he preens them sometimes, but he's got a thing for the Sarams. Don't you, big boy? Bob, you came over to see me. I've got some bit of him actually preening Jasmine. So he came over to do his little voyeur thing on her, and she put her head forward, and he started preening her. Didn't you, Jazz? And what do you want? Hmm? Oh, you're gonna take that beak away from me, huh? Okay. There's Pippa's friend, the crows. She likes crows. Don't you, Pip? That's right. That's right. That's right. What, Bob? What, Babaloo? Hmm? Yeah, we do have membership, and you get pictures and little videos and other things that we don't publish elsewhere. And you also get previews of stuff that's coming up. So a few days to watch it without anyone else looking over your shoulder. Right? Right, Lucy? See, Lucy's beak, I have to work on this because it gets divots in the base. It was so big, though, that she couldn't close her beak, so she couldn't do that. And then this, I have to keep working on shaping it. You know, it isn't perfect, but it works. So, does take a Dremel, and they're quite patient with you when they know you're doing something to help them. It's not like she likes me putting the Dremel on there because it's vibrating against her head, that kind of thing. But she likes the effect that when it's done, she'll start moving around her beak back and forth to kind of see how it works. Let's see how your beak looks right now. Not bad. It needs to be curved a little bit on the bottom some. But I don't recommend anybody do that unless you know what you're doing, though. And I have gotten a little training from a vet on how to do it. And I also used to work, I used to do jewelry, so I know about grinding things down. So kind of got a skill for that. I made a 2-inch lens out of obsidian without cracking it. So, and with these guys, you got to be careful with that beak. Not only is it sensitive, but you could, if you were to do it improperly, you could crack the beak too. So, not easy to do, but you could. So, you have the most beautiful eyes, Lucy. You know that? Oh yeah, Aaron. I used to do all that, and then I lived near the coast in San Diego, and somebody got into my garage and stole $6,000 worth of equipment I was using to make jewelry. So, well, if you want a bird to become bonded to you and then start biting you and your friends, it's a good reason to cuddle them for too long. If you're trying to avoid mate bonding, that's what you want to do. Unless you know how to deal with mate bonding, you're going to create an issue. Too much petting can get them bonded to you. Cuddling them for long periods of time is not a good idea for the same reason. Once a bird becomes bonded to you, there are certain rules that apply. And if you go outside those boundaries, you're going to face those issues. In the wild, they will let any bird, for the most part, any of their species, preen their heads, but anything below that is mating territory. So We don't want to bring out mating behavior in these guys. So cuddle for a short time and then sit them somewhere on a perch where they can sit for a little while. And yeah, it's a big issue. People think that, oh, they're so cuddly, I can just keep doing that. But it's kind of like hanging out in a bar with the same person for days on end when you do that. And then they start to have those expectations. Well, wait a minute, you're supposed to always be here. You're never supposed to be around other people, da 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 da. Now, if they're already mate bonded, that doesn't mean you can't make the situation better. You can, but you do need to have some tools in not just reward training, but reward training's great, but it's only one facet of ABA. So it's best to learn how to actually do all the other things in ABA if you have a mate bonded bird. I always use that same example of the guy who had a blue and yellow macaw, and two guys busted into his apartment and they were beating him up. They were going to try to steal from him, and the macaw did what it would do normally in the wild. It was a pretty extreme situation, so you don't expect a bird to do this in situations that are not as extreme, but the macaw simply removed one of the attacker's eyes quickly. And in the wild, that's what they do. So if and it doesn't happen very often, but if a male is trying to steal a female, then this can happen. It only happens when there aren't enough females, so yeah. I had a similar situation happen to me, in that I was holding Bob, and a big friend of mine, he's a big tall guy, was telling me how what are you saying, Bob? He had been at a turkey ranch, and one of the turkeys came up and whacked him in the face with his wing. And so as he's telling me the story, he pops me on the shoulder with his hand to illustrate the turkey. At which point I was holding on to Bob with both feet, so I had to yank him away because Bob was targeting the man's eyes, and he was ready to go. I mean, he's flighted, so, right, Bob? Babaloo. Another situation, these are the two that I use the most to explain this, but he was with me at a Renaissance fair, and when he's not around his territory, he does great with kids and people and everything, but this big old lunken guy, not paying attention, bumped into me, and Bob went for him, and I just pulled him back. I just pulled him away, and the guy walks away completely oblivious to the fact that he had just broken one of the prime rules of being mate bonded, because Bob is mate bonded to me. I know, but you're a good bird, aren't you, Bob? Yeah? I didn't understand that. Could you say that more clearly? Could you? You don't want to? Are you done? Babaloo. Peaches, are you still in that corner? Are you singing songs, Peaches? Yeah, Bob's it's about 700 grams. But he can open a Brazil nut in one crunch. Are you looking at the cerams again there, Snowball? Uh-huh. Pet the beak. Pet the beak. Is that what you want? Yeah, to defend their mates, yes. But normally it's going to happen if you get a bird mate bonded to you. The thing you're going to see the most is like you're sitting with the bird on the couch or something, and a friend comes and is knocking at the door, and you open up the door, and the friend gives you a hug, and then all of a sudden you get a bite. You get bitten. That's because you broke the rules, right? You're showing mate behavior with someone else, and it's a stranger too, which makes it worse. So Or there's the other way. I mean, they'll bite you to warn you that you're doing something wrong, or they'll, and this is when you see bites. Normally, any other kind of bite has been taught to a bird because they don't do that. Is where you're the same situation, and then the bird bites your friend, right? And most people say to me, well, my bird just bit out of the blue. It's not out of the blue. None of these things are out of the blue. Most of them are due to mate bonding, but just like with Cecil biting my shoes, he is playing to a certain degree, but it's also, nest territoriality. He's got a nest there, and my feet, I try to get that nest of his as far away as possible because he'll come out and defend anything that's moving around that nest. So you play with mate territory. Hi, Babaloo. You play with mate bonding at your own peril. So, well, if a bird goes straight to the bite, there's usually some conditioning there that needs to be worked with. But hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Babaloo. 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 Bob is usually pretty busy, but he's definitely wired up today. He's been nibbling at the rat cheese. Not that he ever gets cheese. Yeah, that's just from an old Firesign Theater album back when you had vinyl, right? Nibbling at the rat cheese. He's just all fired up today. And it's something that they tend to throw their names in. They throw their names in at the end. And in that, what, Bob? Do you see a dog over there or something? Do you? In that, yeah, Cockatoo. At that research they did with the Cornell University did with birds. These were parrots. Now you're talking to crows. Bob. Bob-a-doo. Bob. Bob. Babaloo, you're not a crow. Bob, calm down. Come on. Bob. Babaloo, calm down. He's all fired up. Bob. That's the first. He's not had crows talking to him before, so he's having fun talking to them. We're just in that neighborhood, so we have to keep it down, Babaloo. Even though the crows aren't. Okay, Bob. Now I forgot what I was talking about, which was probably your intent anyway. Loose. Bob. Are you having fun talking to the crows? Becca's not over there. Oh, crow left, Bob. Cecil? Cecil? Yeah, Bob, so again, you get them away from their territory, like Bob in a Renaissance fair. He's the perfect bird. Of course, I put him in an aviator harness. I don't take him out where he can fly away, because he can fly. Not that he'd want to, but, you know, if he got scared or something. So he's in a harness, and he has no problems there other than people being stupid. You know, will they find a new mate? You know, if there's two birds and one dies or something, will they find a new mate? After a long mourning period, you can even see that in the Parrots of Telegraph Hill, where Mark Bittner is talking about how they go into mourning and they disappear after one of their mates dies. Some will. Snowball doesn't seem to have any interest in that since Chloe is gone. And he still will sit and look out. Even here, he will look out trying to see her, I think. I can't read his mind, but he sits and just looks out. Now, that's Sugar trying, so I can get this camera angle. That's Sugar trying to convince Snowball to preen her. Cecil, not my show. Hey. You can't convince him to preen you there? Bob? Who are you talking to? Leave my feet alone, Cecil. Now, if I took this footstool out of here that he's been playing in, these behaviors will disappear. What will happen, though, is he will then run around and terrorize all the other birds. So with that footstool in here, he tends to terrorize me. I mean, terrorize, I'm kidding when I say that. He messes with me, okay? If I take that out, he'll start messing with all the other birds. And right now I'm trying to limit that kind of thing so they feel more comfortable. So if he attacks my feet, plays with my feet, whacks me with toys, that's okay. I allow him to do that. It's better than having him chase the other birds, and he likes to do that too, so. Don't ya? Don't ya? Beaches. Beaches. Yeah, if you spend the money and get the Manual of Parrot Behavior by Lucer, the section in there on mate behavior is quite enlightening. You may have had no idea what your birds were doing. You know, it might seem like just a cute behavior to you, but when you read that section, you're like, oh, yeah, okay. And I've now seen, there's a section also on mate aggression, which I've seen that. Unfortunately, I've seen it twice now. So Snowball got aggressive with Chloe. This is not something that happens in the wild that we know of. We haven't seen any evidence of it, just in captivity. And then Cecil started tearing up Lorelei's feathers, which is why you will not see Cecil with Lorelei at any time. Lorelei comes out separately, so. So the book says it happens frequently. Well, frequently for me has been 100% of the time when any two birds have chosen to bond. Yeah. Another reason you don't keep a male and a female in the same cage, you should always have the birds separately. Doesn't matter what their sex is, but they should be separated, because often a male will kill a female. So, and that's bonded. Peaches, you're too cute. Peaches, you're too cute. Peaches. Peaches! Bob, that's my shirt you're yanking on over there. She's tricky. Peaches. What did you say, Bob? Babaloo. I know about the Babaloo. Oh, that's right. What I was trying to say, and it completely left my mind, is that here goes Peachy Girl. Beautiful song, Peach. Beautiful song. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology, when they were studying parrotlets down in Brazil, found that these birds will usually communicate and then throw their name in. Okay? So they roughly, and you have to look at the research, it's amazing. They found this out by accident and had to go back and research it, but the mothers give their babies names. The baby learns their mother's name, their father's name, their sibling's name, and then goes out and learns everyone else's name. So they will basically say, hey, Bob, let's go get the berries. So they have a rudimentary language where they talk to each other. And they usually throw their name at the end. They'll say like, hey, Bob, let's go get the birds. Go get the berries, Don. So we see that here where they'll say something and they'll throw their name in. It's really common for them to throw their name in at the end, if they can say it. The ones who can say their names will throw it in. Snowball does it. Peachy does it. She says, come here, Peach, when she wants you to come to her. Come here, Peach. Okay, folks, we got to get going. I got to get, they get to come out in the morning, and then I have to get them their breakfast. They've had food. They had dry food, but now they got to get their wet food. So I want to thank you all for coming and for supporting the Chloe Sanctuary. And these guys, oh, Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. And thanks, Amy and Eleanor, for helping me with the chat, since I can't see very terribly well out here anyway. It's really great to have you guys helping. And everybody else, we're out of here. Thanks for coming. And we will see you next time. Bye, Aaron. Bye, Lisa. That's right, Bob. You tell everybody. Tell them it's over. It's over for today. We're going to go eat.